Hi there, welcome to today's video. So for this tutorial I'll be using these tools here, which includes a badge fastening, a cookie cutter tool, my needle tool, a small and a medium ball tool, my acrylic roller and my blaze cutting tool, and some wet wipes. So today I'm going to be making a little Leo the Lion artwork with polymer clay. And I'm going to make this one into a pin badge, I think. So I'm going to use 3 shades of brown polymer clay, 2 for the mane and 1 for his face, some black clay, some whites and some pink. And to create the base, or the lion's mane really, I'm going to use this cookie cutter tool here, and it's got a circle and a flower shape on it, and to be honest you could use either, but I'm going to go for the flower shape today. So I'm just going to press down really firmly and pop it out like so. Just can be a little bit fiddly really. So because they don't come out the neatest really, I'm just going round here with my small ball tool, just in the little cracks and crevices to ensure that they're nice and neat. And I can finish those off with my hands as well. It's helpful that they're quite warm really. So now that's all done, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this sheet of clay here. It's entirely up to you if you wanted to use a two-tone effect for the mane. You can use just the one solid colour, which would be a lot easier actually if you're kind of new to polymer clay. So again, I'm just going to go round and neaten off the edges, just with my small ball tool here and my fingers as well. So now that they're both quite neat, I'm placing one directly on top of the other. Just make sure that they're lined up correctly. And I'm going to take my blaze cutting tool and just go straight through the middle. And again at a right angle. So I've got some quarter shapes. And now I'm going to cut the quarters into 8ths, like so. You just need to take a little bit of time to ensure that they're lined up correctly. You can see my hesitation here. So now that they're done, they look a lot like Trivial Pursuit's pies or cheese. So with each segment, I'm going to use one in alternating brown colours. And I'm not sure that you can see the difference in tones terribly well here, but I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm just ensuring that I'm using a top and then a bottom, just so that there's a nice sort of tonal difference there. And it doesn't matter too much if you've got remnants of the other tone of polymer clay, because that can always be taken off with a wet wipe. And again, if this is too fiddly, you can just stick to the one colour. I can assure you that it's a lot easier. So there we go, that's all done, and it all looks pretty neat. So to ensure that it all sticks together well, I'm just going to go over lightly with my acrylic roller here. And with my wet wipe, just remove any stubborn bits of clay that shouldn't be there. So now that the mane's all done, I'm going to move on to Leo the Lion's face. And just make sure that that's the right size before I move on. So I'm happy with that, so I need to make him some little cheeks. So I'm just going to press down onto similar sized balls of clay. And just take my blaze cutting tool to them like so. It's not really his cheeks actually, is it? It's his jowls really. So to ensure that they stick well, I'm just going to use my wet wipe here and just keep going really until they flatten down sufficiently. So there we go, pretty happy with that, and it's looking like a jowl. So I'm going to make his nose now, and that's just really easy with a tiny bit of black clay. And I'll just create some eye sockets with my medium-sized ball tool here. I do have a list of tools that I use pretty regularly down in the description actually as affiliate links, so by all means go and check those out. So I'm just making some little balls of black clay just to enhance the eye sockets really, make it all look a little more cartoon-like. But you could just use black eyes if you really wanted to, it kind of has its own charm. So I'll just press down on those with my ball tool here and add in some small pieces of white clay here, and I'll just pat those down. And a wet wipe's always handy to ensure that your eyes are clean. And I'll just pop in some pupils. You can use whatever colour for eyes that you wanted. Perhaps you'd want to use some yellow eyes or glow in the dark maybe. And I'll just pop in some whisker marks with my needle tool. And I'll just create some ears for the lion, like so. I've been thinking about this design for quite some time actually, so it's nice to be able to finally kind of sit down and work it out. And I was just going to upload it as a sort of basic lion pin badge tutorial, but Ian pointed out that it just brought to mind the zodiac signs for him, so I thought, yeah, that's quite a nice little project to work on. 12 pretty easy tutorials for my channel, so yeah, I'll be making another 11 of these as and when I get time. So now his ears just attach like so, and you don't really need to be too concerned about how neat they are on the back because it's just going to be placed onto the mane like so. So now I'm just creating a couple of tiny eyebrows that should really help to give this lion some expression, but you can leave those off if you want, it's entirely up to you. And it's always good practice to ensure that your own work is unique to you, so by all means experiment with your own design. I'm just going to add some pink cheeks here as well. So he's looking pretty good. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more detail here just with my needle tool. It's a shame that I can't add these to my Etsy store once they're done. Although, you know, I probably will, but it's going to be a while, I think, before my Etsy store's back open. But yeah, I'm sure I'll add these at some point. So now Leo the lion is all done, and I'm really happy with him actually. I think he's a great first piece for my zodiac signs projects. So now I'm going to bake him, and at this point you'll need to refer to your own brand of polymer clay's baking instructions. So here he is, all baked and cooled, and yeah, he's looking pretty good. I think I'm just going to add some Sculpey glaze to his nose though, just to ensure that that's nice and shiny. And maybe to his eyes as well. So now I just need to add the pin badge attachment. So I'm using a 2-part epoxy glue here. I'm using Astrology, but you can use any 2-part epoxy glue basically. This one isn't great because it dries as a yellow glue, which is unfortunate. I like it to be clear really, but you know, it's just for a pin badge, so it doesn't matter too much. So I'll just add a little dollop on the back like so. And I'll need to leave that for around 24 hours to dry, and I'll just use an old wet wipe here to ensure that it dries flat. So here's Leo the lion all done, and yeah, need to have a think about which one to do next. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take care, bye bye.